I vibe coded my new website and got it set up in a weekend. And honestly, I didn't know it would be super easy and quick. I mean, I can't count the number of times that I procrastinated in doing it because I thought it'd be a painful process. But it's live now. I spent a few hours with Claude last weekend and got it done in a few hours. And the cool part, I didn't even open a website builder even once. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through the whole workflow, what tools I used, what each tool actually did, and that one moment where the AI knew my business well enough to stop me from breaking my own email. That moment actually sold me on this way of working more than the website did. By the way, if you're new to my world, my name is Hazel June, and I've worked with online experts and thought leaders since 2018. I've redesigned online programs that generate over 7 figures a year, coached hundreds of business owners, and trained thousands of people on how to leverage AI. And in this channel, I usually talk about using AI to run and grow a solo business. Let's get into it. So the first part in this 3-step process is coming up with a website copy. So in writing the copy, I started in a plain Claude conversation, just me talking through the offer, like who my offer is for, what my audience is actually drowning in, what they would object to, what I would say back. Claude drafted the copy and then I write the final version of it. And then Claude and I went through several iterations for the copy. We reviewed several assets together to draft a good copy, like a bunch of copy that I found from competitors' websites or the customer language that I've gotten from my research and the testimonials that I've gotten from clients and the AI workshops that I've done in the past. Now, what came out of that conversation with Claude was number one, a narrowed version of my ICP or my ideal client profile. And then also this whole argument of the whole website, which is you didn't build this business to become its admin. That is the headline. Everything else on the site is just that sentence unpacked. The pain section, the case studies, the FAQs, all of it supports that one argument. Now, once the copy is good to go, I handed it to Claude Design. If you haven't used it yet, Claude Design actually does a fantastic job in turning your content and ideas into beautiful visual designs. And as someone who's not a designer, this alone saved me hours. I mean, design is the number one reason I would spend hours, if not days, building my website in the past. But thanks to Claude Design, I don't have to do that anymore. I just gave it direction on what I wanted, plus my branding colors, and it spun out a mock website that is aligned with what I want. It took care of the layout, this video placeholder above the fold, the fonts, colors match to my brand, section by section, testimonials, my headshot, and a bunch of different stuff that used to take me hours to design and build. Now, we went back and forth a couple of times, mainly because I forgot to include my logo and the screenshots I provided were not cleanly cropped. Now, the great thing about Claude Design is that you can edit it yourself. You don't have to always ask AI to do the changes for you. Like, you can upload the screenshots, you can change the font, change the colors, upload images, and all of that good stuff. And it's incredibly easy to do it too. Now, like what I've mentioned, I'm not a designer, but I know when something looks off or awkward, but I can't always tell why it looks off. With Claude Design, though, I didn't have to know why. I also didn't have to decide which colors look best for a specific section or what layout is best for a specific part of the site. Claude Design took care of all of that for me, which for a non-designer like me is incredibly helpful and a huge time saver. Now, the last step in this workflow is the actual build, and it's actually the part that impressed me the most. So here's what I did. I opened Claude Code and gave it the link to the design project and said, implement this. By the way, it was so easy to hand off this design project to Claude Code. All you have to do is click share and then go to more formats and apps and then click send. All I did was copy this prompt, added a few instructions, and then paste it in Claude Code. This is what it looks like when I copied the prompt into Claude Code and then added some additional instructions. Now here's what Claude Code did. It pulled the design file, it found a testimonial screenshot sitting on my desktop, and then matched them to the right slots on the website. And then it also pulled my headshot out of the design file because it already dropped it in there. It also embedded my demo video above the fold and set it to autoplay on silent. Then the part I genuinely didn't expect, my newsletter form is hosted in MailerLite and it gives you an embed code. And that code comes with 700 lines of styling that make your site look like a MailerLite ad. Claude Code kept the part that makes the form actually work and threw out their styling and then rebuilt it to match my design. I mean, ain't that the best? Then it deployed the site to Vercel, which is where I'm currently hosting my website, and then walked me through connecting my domain. And I'll be honest, this is actually the reason I had to put off redesigning my website. You see, I'm using my domain for some of the landing pages I built in MailerLite, and I thought it would be way too complicated to transfer that domain to Vercel. Turns out it wasn't because Claude Code did 80% of the work for me. It even gave me clear instructions when I got lost in the Vercel setup at one point. I just told Claude what I was seeing and it gave me one command that skipped the whole interrogation. And then when I wanted to swap two testimonial images, I just told Claude about it and it got it done in just a couple of minutes. All I had to do was run the command and it's automatically live. That's how easy it is to update my website now. I don't log into a builder. I just say what I want to Claude and it's done. Now the email thing. When you connect a domain, Vercel recommends switching your name servers over to them. Claude Code actually stopped me because my domain doesn't just serve a website, it runs my newsletter sending and my inbox. The DNS records on that domain include the MailerLite authentication that lets my emails land instead of going to spam, and the records that make my email address receive anything at all. So if I switched name servers, my newsletter would have just quietly stopped working and I wouldn't have known until the sends started failing days later. You know, when you hire a contractor, there's a difference between the one who just closes the ticket and the one who's been inside your business long enough to say, wait, if we do that, it breaks this thing over there. That's the difference context makes. Claude Code knew my whole stack because my whole business lives in the workspace it works in. It wasn't smarter than Vercel's documentation. It just knew me and my current tech stack. And that's the key really. The handoff from Claude to Claude Design to Claude Code worked because nothing got lost between the sessions. The copy knew my offer, the design knew my copy, and then the build knew my design and my business. In short, the tools are great, but what made it a cohesive, seamless process is the context. Now, if you watch this and thought, I want AI working like that in my business, an AI system that's actually trained on you, your business, what you do, your offers, your clients, and how your brain works, that's literally what I do with clients now. Book a call using the link in the description below, and let's look at where AI moves the needle in your business. And if you want to see more builds like this as they happen, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell. I drop a video every week about leveraging AI and running a business without payroll. See you in my next video. Ciao.